committed adultery.
Yes. Another man that we talked about own you, stick. It's a palisade.
Mate,
Yep.
that's why it goes into spiritual fornication. You know, that whole spiritual fornication side. Like we basically went. It says we went out whoring after other gods. Basically, you know, giving off because the Lord likened us unto, you know, wives, right? And He being our husbandry, right? We went at the moment we started going after other gods like Christianity, Roman Catholicism, Islam, right? That was us committing spiritual fornication.
Yeah.
So
Other men inserting up inside of you, man. That's why the brother said Israel went off and played the whore.
Yep.
So when you go, like we were talking, it all circles back, bro. When you go back to Revelation 13, when He calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. That charagma, which root word is charax, it goes in the palisade. What does a palisade look like? You notice it all looks like a fucking dick.
It's a rod.
It all looks like a rod. You see? So that rod, when they stick the syringe up in you, no matter what hand, by the way, when they stick the syringe up in you, what are they doing? I own you. You see? Even the nuclear missiles, the way it's shaped, it's a fucking rod. When it gets shot down on America, America's getting fucked. Hey, it's a horror, man.
Wait, old virgin daughter.
Yeah. Straight up. Straight up.
Yeah.
See, like exactly. She's untouched until those missiles come, man.
That's right. Yeah.
Right?
It's crazy.
Go ahead, bro.
She's gonna literally be a hoe.
Yeah.
There's gonna be multiple warheads
Yeah.
that hit this place.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, reproving Proverbs 29. We go back to that.
Because you said in the spirit that even if the Lord wanted to take you, He couldn't.
He could.
Because you were polluted by another man.
Yep.
You know, and that being Esau, and you know, with the charagma. But even IUIC, they promote that if a woman so-called believes that she has to leave her man in the world and marry a man in the IUIC, so you're all about the law this, the law that, but you're out here promoting adultery, you know, because that man in the world, he didn't die, he didn't pass on to the spiritual realm. He was still alive. And you told her to stop being with him if you don't want to come into the faith and marry a man in the IUIC.
Right.
You're pushing her or forcing her to commit adultery.
But you give no place for grace and mercy. What if that man that's with her receives the law of the unbelieving husband? Receives the spirit of Yahweh Shai at a different time. The man can be delivered off the doings of the believing woman, man. Woo, America's through. That's your favorite rapper, huh? I'm teasing, brother. This is Jeremiah 3:1. It says, they say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him, and become another man's, shall he return unto her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers, yet return again to me, said the Lord. That return again to me, said the Lord, only goes to the elect. All right, because we just read up above that, if a man, puts away his wife and she becomes another man's, shall she return unto him again? Really, no. She got polluted. But the only ones that's going to return to Yahweh Shai within that, yet turn unto me, are the elect. It don't apply to the wicked of our nation. The wicked of our nation, Israel, is going to be destroyed. IUIC, all of them, man, unless you have ones in there that are of the elect. And I believe that, which brothers are talking about earlier. I believe you have the elect in IUIC, ISUBK, fucking GOCC. Well, that's crazy. The GOCC, you got the elect everywhere. I believe that. But they're just waiting at the Lord's Scattered. They're just waiting at the Lord's appointed time for him to wake them up and get them up out of their current state. Remember the scriptures say the Lord gives the increase. Can we get that in what is that? 1 Corinthians?
Yeah, I know exactly what
the 3rd chapter. The Lord gives the increase. All right. I'm gonna get another scripture with that, unless brothers got something.
Get Exodus.
Come. Yep. Salakia.
I was just thinking about the spiritual analogy on how the elect are likened unto virgins, undefiled, unspotted. And that's because we have Yahweh Shai, because he is ultimately our husband. Right?
Yeah.
So the hopeful elect are looked at as unspotted, undefiled. See, the Lord made an exception to basically clean the slate. So as long as we are serving him and being obedient unto him, the Lord said that he was married unto us, married meaning joined. So as long as we don't break that union, right, by reverting back to our old ways, right, like a dog that returns onto his vomit, then the Lord is going to excuse us. He's going to look past, right, our sin, our defilement, okay, our whoredoms. And that's a condition that the Heavenly Father ultimately set up. But, you know, just the spiritual value of it, like in the elected unspotted virgins, not defiled. Meaning, we turn back to Yakalba Page, we repented, we return back to Yakalba Page, and with our full mind, we hope and believe and trust in Him. Right?
It's like you have a gang of women that go out, they might have the same husband, but they might go out and then they start dressing like harlots and go out amongst the city and start going gadding abroad. But then you have 4 of them that actually deal with other men, but you have that one that never did. You know, and that one is able to turn back to the husband. Those other ones, they're through. You know, that's the majority of Israel is through. They're gonna take the charagma, be pierced, and then be destroyed. But then you have that remnant.
You can't take that one back.
Yeah, you can't. But the elect are gonna be the ones who be like, nah, that's too far. I gotta turn back to my husband. That's the Lord. That's the elected nation of Israel. Yakalba Page. You know?
I get the precepts up. Precepts. And they get Isaiah 4 chapter also.
I found the one.
Access the law. Take another. They get Isaiah 4.
You want the bishop one too?
Also Deuteronomy 21.
Con, so this Exodus chapter 21 and 10, it says, if you take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish.
Yeah, it's in the law. So IUIC claims to keep the law. They don't keep that law. So,
Another.
and then they say Isaiah the 4th chapter is what happened in the kingdom. So it is lawful then. It's just not lawful now according to them. They never go into that either. Even though that's going to happen on this side because it tells you of them that are escaped of Israel. When we in the kingdom of heaven, we ain't going to be escaping nothing.
Yeah.
So we can read that too. Or you go go into the margin, into the it tells you about the food and raiment. If you click on the food, I believe, it gives you information on the daily bread and all that.
Con, so the Hebrew word, it says sha'ar, which means flesh. It also says, food for, that's pretty much it. So, and also,
information, you click on it and it gives you like a certain word in the Hebrew, or Edomite Hebrew, that gives you like a phrase, like a dictionary on the word, or the food or raiment, or whatever it is. You can't find it, I'll look for it, we go to the next scripture.
so it says flesh, food, body, near kin, near kinswoman, then going real quick to raiment.
That's not it. It gives you a description of what's not supposed to be lacking in the other woman, in the first wife. Right? So, but you got to click on it, it gives you information in the word. Actually, if you go to Isaiah the 4th chapter and break it down, let's have something else.
Gotcha, brother. It's Isaiah 4, verse 1. And in that day, 7 women, Salakia, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So you got to go into, like the elder was talking about, right? It says in that day. That's during the time of what? Trouble. All right? They're going to come under, when you go into it and it says, let us be called by thy name, it means let us be owned by you. When it says what? When it says concerning us and the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, it says what? That are called by his name.
Yep. I got that in the GNT. Okay. The GNT says Isaiah.
First and cross reference. Go ahead.
Isaiah 4 and 1 in GNT it says when
you
that.
Gotta break down them that are escaped to Israel. Did we read that? Break that down.
No, not yet.
Yep, we ain't read it yet. This is verse 2. And that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped in Israel.
Yeah, so you got before the escape, okay, you're going to have the elect women run into the elect men. It's just as simple as that. All right? So and in the kingdom, we're going to flourish and prosper. But before the kingdom comes, the people that escape are going to, the women are going to run to the elect men.
That's right.
It's not talking about in the kingdom specifically. They're going to run to the elect men. They're not going to be running to nothing, but everything's going to be tranquility, peace, calm, maximum pleasure. We're not going to cry except for that one day when the Lord's body is revealed. And we're going to be perfect in the kingdom. We're not going to be escaping and running from nothing. Women ain't going to run for nothing. They're not going to be working. And the woman is supposed to work, like the apostle said. You know? Even in the ancient world, you had women bringing in food, going in down to the field, bringing the berries, carrying shit on their head, you know, on their back, you know, going down to the field, you know. But they weren't just sitting up in the house cooking and cleaning and absorbing the resources. They were actually working, going to the market, you know, bringing back stuff. Or if they had servants, they were organizing the service to do that, you know. Go back to Exodus.
So it says for her food within a TSK. So it says, sha'ar or sha'ara, meaning her flesh, she should not only afford, it says her sufficient quantity of food as before, but of the same.
The first wife.
It says, but of the same quality. She's not to be fed like a common slave with the sufficiency of bread, vegetables, milk, etc. But with her, it says, so it says, but with her customary supply of flesh and other agreeable articles of food. And then it also links up to 1 Corinthians chapter 7, 1-6.
Yeah, so read the precept again. Read the precept again. And then did y'all read 1 Corinthians 7?
No.
So it links up with it. So the point is that the so-called Bible scholars know it's not 1 Corinthians 7 is not talking about a singular wife. Right? So read the precept again.
So it says Exodus chapter 21:10, if you take him another wife, her food, her raiment, her duty of marriage, shall he not diminish.
So the quality is not supposed to diminish with the first wife. So you're supposed to treat him fairly. All right? And then it links up with what?
It says, 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and 1-6.
Just read that real quick.
1 Corinthians 7 and 1.
Yeah, Manasseh, you got it?
Yeah.
Go read it.
1 Corinthians 7 and 1, it says, now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman.
In that, you know? And, you know, when it comes to taking a wife, or to refrain, you know?
Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband.
Right, so again, it's saying the same thing equally. So are men and women equal? They say the same thing equally. That's how it's worded. That's how we know the IUIC, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Read that again. It says the same thing equally. So we're already supposed to know that a woman's only supposed to have one husband. But now we got to get educated on the woman. A man's only supposed to have one wife. But it's worded the exact same way. Read it again.
Again, it's 1 Corinthians 7 and 1. Now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband.
Right, so that proves that it's not just talking about something being singular, okay? Because it links back to the law. You take him another wife, all right? Go back to Isaiah 4.
Gotcha.
I didn't know
Isaiah? No. The brothers is already reading.
Isaiah 4 and 1. All right. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel.
Yeah, in the kingdom, that's not going to happen. There's not going to be any danger. The reason why that's going to happen is because a lot of men are going to get put to death. They're going to be captured and killed and not going to be available. So the elect women are going to need the elect men. Right. Even the ones that aren't elect are going to try to do that, but they ain't going to get results. Well, if they do get results, the end is going to still be fire.
Absolutely.
Right. The scriptures say that a man is going to be a hiding place for the
Got it.
wicked.
Yeah. 32, right?
Yeah, read that real quick.
It's Isaiah 32 and 2. It says, and a man shall be a hiding place.
Yeah, the elect man.
It's not a one-on-one thing. One man, what the hell?
Right.
No.
Yeah, when they see that a man of the elect, all right, is taken care of, right, miracles are being performed, they're gonna gravitate to that man.
Absolutely.
Right? You see all these other men fucked up, about to be out of here. You see a man of the Lord, right? However y'all should meet, and you see that, you know, he's stern, he's strong, right?
Got a healthy amount of fat on him.
Right. He's looking healthy. You gonna know something special about that man. Hold on. I gotta get myself in his inner circle. So that's just the verifying of Isaiah 4.
Plus, you got to consider the time that you're in. This is a time like never before seen on a planet.
They ain't gonna have to do too much thinking.
Yeah,
Take 24 hours. No, it's gonna be like
deliberate.
They parents get deleted. They starve for a day, and they find what looked like a competent man. They're gonna run to him.
Yeah.
And a lot of you women are gonna get left behind anyway. Because you just gotta imagine, in a scenario like the scriptures describe, a lot of women are gonna be looked over.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to be adding some sort of value. A lot of women are gonna get looked over. Nonetheless, I like that. Go ahead.
Yep.
That Ezekiel 9 and 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The woman's not leaving here in her own ticket. Leaving here in the man's ticket. Spirit.
And it says, and a man shall be a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest.
So that means singular one man, according to IUIC. It's just one man. People are imbeciles, right? The scripture will return. Why would you go listen to IUIC when it comes to matters of the law, when they claim to keep the law, but then they reject what says in the law?
Yeah.
So they're basically active. They're just acting. They're playing a part. Go ahead.
As rivers of water in a dry place, as a shadow of a great rock in a weary land.
Right. So according to IUIC, that's one man, one woman. They would have to come to that conclusion. You know? They would reject what the laws say, reject our customs, all right? Reject our history, reject the cultural norms that were not against the law or any laws that were back there in the East. You know? But IUIC comes up and creates the new law because it appears as though it's saying using singular words in the New Testament. That's the only thing they got to stand on. Right? But it goes back to the law. Right? Have his own wife goes back to Exodus 21 and 10, right? Which is can be plural or singular, depending on your preference. Really up to the Yahweh Shai, you know, because he the ones that puts you together, you know, with your wife. Ultimately, because we're just playing a part. We're following the script that Yahweh Shai made, but according to the Most High Yahweh's blueprint, and Yahweh Shai carrying it out. So we're basically the puppets. So if I had 2 wives and 1 wife, that was ordained in the heavens. Whether I had children or not, that's all ordained. All right. The Lord never made a law that said you're supposed to have 1 wife, and that was the law from the beginning. IUIC lied. Didn't he say that out of his mouth? It wasn't like that from the beginning. Multiple wives. So why was it condoned with Jacob? When was Jacob ever rebuked? Where was Abraham ever rebuked? Right? When was Danite name? Danite.
Yeah, you're talking about Samson.
Samson. When was his father ever rebuked? You know, by a prophet came to him and said, "You ain't supposed to have 2 wives." You know, they were never rebuked. They never corrected. And those are only the ones that were recorded because they were significant components in what the Lord wanted us to know today. All right, millions of other Israelites had multiple wives. It's just not recorded in the Bible. All right, you can look at secular, I'm saying that right, history, and find out that it's normal. All right, more than what's written in the scriptures. You know, you got millions and billions of people over time that were Israelites that were following the law that had multiple wives. It wasn't just because you were rich or renowned. It was because you had the ability to take care of them. That's it, and you desired it.
I was going to say, even when you go back to our forefather Israel, Jacob, right, when he wanted to work, he wanted Leah first, right?
No, he wanted Rachel.
Was that?
You want Rachel?
Yeah. Remember, he wanted Rachel. He worked for Rachel, once he got Leah, why didn't he just say, oh, well, I only have one wife? No, he worked again to get...
He said something very specific.
Yep.
He said, not within our custom,
Yeah.
give the way the elder first, or the younger first, whatever he said.
Yep. But there was nothing wrong with him then working again to get both. And then, once he had both to wife, before the 12 sons were then created, remember, they were barren. They couldn't have children. So what did Leah and Rachel do? They gave up their handmaids. So that he then had laid with the handmaids. So he had 4 women that he was popping. But all 4 of them gave birth to the children of Israel that became the children of Israel. These 12 sons were born from 4 different women. So why wasn't that against a custom or against scripture? And like the brother said, he said it's against customs to give the elder before the younger before the elder. So it didn't say anything about not having both.
He wasn't breaking any laws that was ordained from on high by making that statement. All right? He wasn't breaking no laws. Who had the precept? Where he's making that statement. You got it? Find it. Find it. Oh, yeah.
Quick. All right, so I got the definition of family in the Bible dictionary, and it reads, the concept of the family in the Bible differs from the modern institution. The Hebrew family was larger than the families today, including the father of the household, his parents, if living, his wife or wives, and children.
Yeah, well, by saying wife, it can be singular or plural. Go ahead.
And children, his daughters and sons in law, slaves, guests, and foreigners under his protection.
All right, so that's within our culture. All right, it wasn't because we were so wicked that we had to take multiple wives. Right. There's nowhere written. All right, IUIC just made that shit up.
Yeah.
Who has the precept?
This is Genesis 29 and 24. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah his maid for an handmaid. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, what is this thou hast done unto me? Did not I serve with thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me? And Laban said, it must not be so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn.
Yeah, so making that statement was not against any law. Okay, that was orally passed down. All right, Jacob didn't protest, the Most High didn't protest against that. All right, so that was the customs for his particular family. All right, which was not against the law.
No, it was a condition of the father. No. You want my daughter, you put in the work, but this is the way that they're going to be administered to you. See, back then, even though he was upset because the one he really desired, he was going to have to wait for, he had respect. Well, that's the condition of the father.
Yeah.
If I may bring out a precept real quick.
That's something you don't got in this society.
Because, just in case there's people that say, well, because remember, that was really before the oracle law was given to Israel and Moses and all that. But there is a law. Yeah, exactly. It was oral before it was, Yep.
Right, it's on tablets of stone.
This is Deuteronomy 21 and 15. If a man have 2 wives, one beloved and another hated, Deuteronomy, 21.
Okay, so I've been holding that.
Slack. Yeah. So this goes to show you that it's not like this was before Israel got the law and then things kind of changed. No, it was still okay for an Israelite man to have more than one wife, and this proves it.
First of all, he brought it up earlier. Even Esau had more than one woman.
Yep.
Well, Abraham, it says that I know that Abraham will lead his household. Get that Genesis 12, I think. So I know that Abraham will lead his household.
So what?
Follow my instructions.
So what can you extrapolate knowing that Esau even had multiple women? That customarily men in general can deal with multiple women. So as long as those women don't have husbands already, or they're not betrothed or promised to a man to be married to. This, like the brother said, is elementary. Really, it's a right. It's a right of men in order for him, his line, and the scriptures to be followed, to be fruitful and multiply. You got to deal with multiple women. You have to, right?
She can only bear one child unless she has quadruplets or twins. Right? So you have multiple wives, you bring more souls onto the earth.
Exactly.
I want the
That page is up.
Genesis 12. It says that Abraham was in his household.
Story at the top.
So this Genesis 18, chapter 18. It's like Genesis chapter 18 and 19 says, "For I know him that he will command." So it says, verse 17, "And the Lord Yahweh said, Shall I hide from Abraham the thing which I do? Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great nation, a great and mighty nation."
Yeah, how I do that? Through multiple lives. Israel had multiple lives. Right.
It says, "And all the nations of the earth should be blessed in it."
Right, that's the Israelites that are scattered throughout the earth in the other nations. What?
"For I know him that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord Yahweh."
Yeah, because it was oral. The laws were handed down orally. Our morality, our limits, what we couldn't go over, which is transgression, was handed down orally. Right? And Abraham was taught by the Most High himself. Right? Because his father wasn't keeping the law. Right? That was handed down orally. Right? But the Lord, the Most High, he looked down at Abraham and said, he got it more right than anybody else. So I'm going to invest my power in Abraham at the time. All right? And one thing that the Most High, or his ancestors, our ancestors handed down orally, was you could have multiple wives. You could take multiple wives. It wasn't a prohibition. It wasn't oral tradition to only have one wife. All right? That's no. IUIC just made that shit up. Oral tradition was multiple wives. A man can take multiple wives. A woman's not supposed to be a whore.
Right.
A woman, if she commits adultery, if she has sex with more than one man. Those are the things that are handed down orally. All right? From the beginning, from Adam.
And this is the reason why women in general outnumber men.
Yeah. Yep.
You think that's by coincidence? Nope. Again, that's really the fulfillment, be fruitful, multiply.
Yeah.
Women greatly outnumber men. So what about all these women out here that don't got men?
Nope.
Come on, bro.
Funny, Elder, you know what's funny?
You're not even being reasonable.
You know what's funny, Elder? We used to put we used to put an equation to that. If you think about it in math, math is truth, and it makes sense. Now, it used to be 8 women to 1 man, right? At one point, it was 8 women to 1 man. So if you did 5 million men, how many women is that? 40 million. So if you put 5 million men with just 5 million women, what happens to the other 35 million women? Don't that sound crazy? 5 million women get with 5 million men. The other 35 million women are just walking like this, like Sim City girl. Come on, man. It's ridiculous. But then, and another one is if a man has 3 women, who's the father? The man, right? Sure. If a woman has 3 men, who's the father? Exactly. It's confusion. You don't know who it is with the 3. So it works the other way, man. The other way that makes sense. The Lord already put it in order, like the elder said, it's in the law. All right?
This is Genesis chapter 16, verse 3. In Sarah, Abram's wife took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife.
So Abraham, it said that Abraham was going to leave his household. So how was Abraham breaking the law all that time, according to IUIC? Because he was so weak and he couldn't control himself, according to IUIC. I would have to speculate that's what they mean.
So that's the term Christians use, is that if you got to have another woman, that you're weak.
And you don't really love the first wife.
Yeah.
The second wife, that means you don't love the first wife.
What they do is really is the effect of America, because instantly when they think of you having another wife, which it comes with popping her, but that's not the main fucking purpose of having a woman. So that's the main trouble that they have in the society. Like, you're just there to please yourself. No, when a woman comes, she has a responsibility to the household too. You know. Mm-hmm. This is like brothers always say, it's a business. You gotta add one more person to the business to further
you get more hands.
Company. Yeah, more hands.
More hands in the field.
If
you're running a farm, you got more hands in the field. You pick more keep everything in the family. Well, you can hire workers from outside, but you can have more managers, taskmasters watching over the field. You know? And all the costs of going into about the businesswoman, Isaiah 30 or something like that, 31? Not Isaiah, Proverbs?
Proverbs,
Proverbs
31.
31? Yeah.
The virtuous
woman. And she actually knows what she's still under your authority, all right? But I don't need to get in the way of, of bringing the money back to the house. You know? Because she's loyal and submissive to her husband.
That's right.
So I ain't got to worry. Now today, these women, they're promiscuous. They got businesses. They're going to be fraternizing with men. Women like it or not. But the point is, it's permissible so as long as she's under your authority.
Right, like just that concept, on a carnal level, it makes sense. If you're building an enterprise, it can only really be tended to the more individuals you have dedicated to that purpose. So that's your sons, your daughters too, that these women are going to be given. They're all working to the same end. What's my father's vision? Right? And then eventually what happens? The sons, they get old, right? They get themselves women, and they become an extension of that. They carry on their legacy now. Which really started with us. But we built them up. They're going to build their sons up. They're going to build their so on and so forth. Building generational wealth begins with your women and then the family that you're raising. And they all add together. That dynamic of family structure has been totally dismantled here in the society. The idea of having multiple women, like the brother said, they're just fixated on the pleasure part, which you're damn right. Hey, listen, the only thing better than old pussy is new pussy. You're not going to change that. You're not going to change that, bro. And by the way, I wanted to throw this in there real quick. Just because I might love one of my wives less than another woman, that's not akin to mistreating her, being ill will to her. It's called a preference. Maybe I like the way this woman's shaped better. Right? Maybe she's just, whatever. I like the way her hey, whatever. Each to his own, right? But that's not akin to mistreatment. Oh, you love her less than you don't love her. No.
That's the modern American Christian, anti-Christian thinking.
Right.
That's not biblical.
It's not biblical.
Right. So if you hate the one wife, then you go to treat her, give the same food, remnant, shelter, it's supposed to be still equal.
Right. And that's what the brother was reading in Deuteronomy, the 21st chapter. That the son of the first wife cannot be overlooked if you got a secondary one and you happen to liken her more. Doesn't work that way.
Well, Jake do that in this world. They'll have a woman.
Well, the Lord favored Judah above the different other tribes.
Yeah.
So, what the hell?
Yeah, exactly. Head tribe.
Yeah. I know you were about to say it, but that
Even Nate would agree with that.
Today's society, how many times does Jake leave the household because the fucking baby moms that he has is wicked as hell, so he kind of like leaves over like that, starts a whole new family, and that kid kind of like dead to him over like that, Like, I knew that's kind of what you're getting at, but that happens a lot, a man might take up and just kind of move ship and kind of start a whole family, like that. And that happens. The kid kind of gets neglected or whatever like that because,
he has a whole new.
And by the way, in this society, the elites, they all have fucking mistresses.
Oh yeah.
They all have mistresses.
The Catholic priests have little boys. Man.
Well, that's demonic as hell. But the point that I'm trying to make is that these top, 500 Fortune companies and all that, they have their primary woman. You don't mean to tell me they don't have mistresses? They have mistresses because all these illegitimate children come out of the woodwork, right? And they either acknowledge them, they pay them off, or they bring them into the business. Yeah. So even on that level, they understand that when you deal with a woman, you have a child by them, or they have a child by you, you bring them into the business. You show them how things get operated. There's a lot of television shows about that. Illegitimate sons shows the hell up. They don't know what the fuck to do with them, and then they stick them into the company, sink or swim. And then he becomes an asset to the company. So even he's,
Well, one of the illegitimate sons we know is old man with the small mustache. Can't say him too much. He was the illegitimate son of I believe the Rothschild. Right?
Little German guy.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. So it just shows you that these elites they practice it. Really, it's an ancient custom at the end of the day. That if you're able to, a man, if he's able to afford another woman, he's going to get another woman.
Right. And that word mistress I looked it up a long time ago. It says right here, female teacher, governess, supervisor of novices in the covet. The supervisor of novices. You mistress is not a bad word. But in America, what they do is newspeak. They take words and make it bad. Right. But so supervise other things going on in the household.
She's supposed to oversee the younger women.
Come on, man.
Your new wife that comes in, because back in ancient world you got a virgin. She was most likely a very young woman. She's teaching that woman how to move in that household properly. What showed you? What's that movie? It was one movie with I forget the name of the actor, but it was a timepiece. It was supposed to be like he was supposed to be the forefather of King James. It was on Netflix for a while. He had a wife, but then after his wife perished, he got him another young woman, but then he had another wife after that. That she taught that young woman, this is how you do when you go into the chamber, he likes this, he likes that. She was teaching him exactly how to be pleasing unto that man. Yeah, the king. The water, brother. Yeah. That movie, they show you with the Game of Thrones and shit. It's an ancient custom that you have another wife, and then the first wife, or the older women that you have, they show the young woman that you bring in unto you the way on how to, of the household of the king or the household of that man. There's nothing new, man. This is our customs according to the ancient world, man.
Fine. Yeah, appreciate it. Fine. This is Titus chapter 2 and verse 3. And it says, the aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becoming holiness, right? Not false accusers, not given to too much wine, teachers of good things. Right? You had, of course, aged women that will have to, teach the younger women, right? Teacher of good things, right? This is what this man liked within his household. This is how he want his food cooked. He want his food hot. Don't let that food sit for 5 minutes longer. He will flip out, right? It says that they may teach the young women to be sober, right? They got to be in their right mind. They got to be clear-minded and such, right? And of course, they're going to be what? They're going to be an example, all right? Just how you have examples of holy men, you got holy women, right? The scriptures do talk about the elect women, all right? Going on, it says to love their husbands, to love their children.
So they taught the young women to be in obedience to the husband and to care for your children when you're dealing with them. So another thing is that a 25-year-old woman is really an elder woman to the younger woman. Because like I said, Jake got him young in the ancient world, and it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back in that time. We're living in a time where, like the brother said, the woman's parents might die, and she might, be able of a certain age, a younger age, and then she go look for a man. Oh, you think she's gonna stop and look at him like, he's a little too old? No. When all hell breaks loose, they're gonna see a man, okay, whether it be a man, Lord, or not, whatever. They're gonna see a man that he's prospering, so to speak, and they go deal with that man, and they ain't gonna care. Brothers that have done multiple videos on the ancient world, they got him young. Like I said, this spirit, a 25-year-old woman, 27-year-old woman was looking at as an elder woman. She was experienced with her husband. So she taught the younger women that happened to be in what they call adolescence today, which that's a new word. That wasn't a thing anymore. It's either you're a child or you're an adult. That's right. They taught the younger women. They still use the term this day in school. Young man, young woman. Yeah. That's still a term, so it shows you the terms really never went away. Esau tried to flip this shit and demonize you, but the ancient way is coming back, right?
Yeah, Nate just in the spirit. He just in the spirit of Pharaoh, because back in Egypt, it's all about population control. And how you control the population? You tell a man he only allowed to have one wife.
Right. Well, and turning them into degenerates, because it is statistically proven that a lot of men, they call them incels now, a lot of the shit that Esau set up has made men sexually repressed. And a lot of that is due to these fucking stupid arbitrary laws that they put in place where a man can't deal with a woman the way he's supposed to, all right, and have that need met, all right?
If he do, he feels some type of way. He's like, that shouldn't be.
This is why things were arranged, all right? Everything was arranged, all right? The father, if he had a daughter, he would make an arrangement and have a certain man of whatever he, wanted for his daughter to marry his daughter. Now it's just you take your kids to school. They got all these influences.
Yeah.
They like one boy one week, another boy next week. Alternate teams. They being slutted out. By the time they hit adulthood, they still wilding out until they hit about 30. Now they want to settle down. That's wicked as hell.
Yeah.
And then they wonder where all the so-called good men are gone when they didn't want to deal with that type of caliber of man. You know? So there's a whole bunch of wickedness that came with these different laws that Esau set in place. And no, they don't want to talk about that. There's a lot of reason for the wickedness that goes on today. You even have fucking teachers. I just saw it's a YouTube channel called Crime and Law Network or something like that. Anyways, 9 days ago, there was a story posted where a 28-year-old teacher who was newly married was fucking one of her students, 16-year-old, 15-year-old student. You got too much shit going on in these goddamn schools, man. Too much wickedness. All right? This is why women shouldn't be, they consider that woman being in a position of power, that she abused her position. Well, this is the reason why women are supposed to be at home, tending to the family. Teaching her children, all right, if anything. And then, you know, the young women, sure, but that was still overlooked by the men. A lot of these different administrations, different prominent positions have been given to women through diversity. And it's messed everything all up. All this damn inclusion has messed things up. These women can't control themselves, let alone navigate, you know, these different situations within schools, all right, or in general.
But they never look down upon the women because they got a term for the women. Older women
she on the
ministry.
She, I guess I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but apparently she ain't behind bars yet. She's just on administrative leave while they investigate the allegations. Even though, according to the police, they said that they have enough digital evidence that corroborates the allegation.
Well, it says
Validates or verifies the allegation.
Allegation. Like this brother says, this is a queen of heaven spirit because a queen is allowed to have multiple men.
The word queen means
Lord. You know, so that spirit of, you know, because they got nothing. There's a term for older women going after younger men, cougars and shit. But you say an older man going after a younger woman, you look at like a fucking creep in the
Predator.
Yeah, predator.
Oh yeah. Like I know. Remember when that Twilight shit was really big? Twilight.
Oh yeah.
Remember the series Twilight? Well, here's the thing. How many freaking moms were over there fucking choosing sides between Team Jacob? These were grown-ass women. And these were supposed to be individuals in their teenage years.
Yeah.
And they're sporting pins and shirts and acting like little fucking so-called adolescents, to use Esau's term. That shit was wild. That shit was, you'd be looking at these grown-ass women, they were lining up, like, yo, it was crazy.
Yeah, I remember
fucking the shirts were flying off the shelves. It was all grown-ass fucking women in their fucking late 20s, 30s, 40s even. That shit was crazy, bro.
Well, you have that one basketball player that has this woman is like,
and that was normal.
Oh yeah, it was.
I mean, in society, we're not saying that was normal. It was normalized, like that was appropriate behavior.
Well, like I said, that one basketball player, he's like 21 or I forget his name exactly. I believe he plays for the Bucks. His woman, he's 21, and his woman is like his mom's age and shit. And people look past it. But if it was the
opposite way around,
and it was Shaq with goddamn Angel, what's her name, fucking Angel Reese or some shit, they'll look at Shaq like a fucking creep.
This new generation, they're sitting there saying that if you more than 8 years older than a woman, then that's creepy. Because they're saying they're going back. Well, if you 18, then you know the woman's 10. So they're like, that's creepy. That's come on, man. That's bullshit. So you gonna tell me that a 95-year-old man and an 85-year-old woman is terrible? Come on, man, shut your ass up.
Yeah, that's
and then a lot of see, and they don't look into their ancestry. A lot of our parents were young.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're several years. There's a massive age gap between. They turned out just fine. As a matter of fact, they're more principled, right? Have more scruples about themselves than this younger generation now.
Well, they showed you that in that movie, Rosewood. Yeah. My man Ving Rhames got with that chick at the end. He said, well, how old are you, Scrappy? And she said 17, and nobody looked at that like it was weird. Nobody looked at that like it was weird because everybody knew that was a woman. You go back, come on, cats, come on, y'all remember y'all grandmothers and shit, man.
Yeah,
they
were
you
young,
got stories 13. Right now. They had children at 15.
Yeah, 13. Especially in the South.
Yep.
Real quick, if you don't mind, guys.
Go ahead, brother.
So how come they say a 42-year-old man date a younger woman, he's a predator, but a 42-year-old woman date a young man is sexualized? It's cool.
We're going to hit it with some scriptures, but that's just, see, this society promotes feminism, right? They promote women basically being in a position of power where they give a pass to a woman who might actually be a predator. Like, I don't know how much.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But they say a woman can't
Because
rape
we're
a man,
we're living in a society full of hypocrisy and degeneracy. Because there are standards for these things, but it's been skewed. This is why, again, if the roles were reversed, that man would be put under the damn jail.
That's what I'm saying.
But to answer your question, it's because this society promotes hypocrisy, and that falls into feminism. A woman could do no wrong, regardless of what act she commits. As a matter of fact, they consider women fucking children well into their adult years.
Yeah.
They infantilize these women.
They act like children.
Yeah, they do, but that's all by design. Because women in the ancient world, women going generations back. See, what's the whole point of having children? You raise them to what? To become adults, right? You have a term now in this day and age, I don't know how to adult. These people are in their 20s talking about I don't know how to adult. All those younger years was preparation for you to do that. They're still trying to figure things out. Now they're blaming it on underdevelopment of the frontal cortex. You don't become fully, but wait a minute. Esau science completely contradicts that. According to Esau science, which if you're a parent, you know this to be true, a child actually begins to understand the concepts of right and wrong well into their early months, not years, months. They start to actually be able to distinguish right and wrong. And you know what that's due to? Proper instruction.
That's right.
Okay? So this idea that, okay, now after 25 going into 26, 27, you all of a sudden mature. That's not necessarily true because as this individual said, women in their much latter years still act like children. So where's the development? Why are they physically aging but never emotionally and mentally maturing? What is that an actual result of? What is the source of that? Is it because there's an underdeveloped frontal cortex? Or is it improper instruction? Or disobedience? Because these women are rebellious as hell. They don't want to listen to nobody any damn way. That's why they wake up 30, childless, alone, miserable, depressed, on all types of antidepressants and 10 fucking cats. Blaming everybody else.
Well, according to the scriptures, I'll get this. According to the scriptures,
With OnlyFans. But anyway,
according to the scriptures, there's only two things when it comes to the humans, or what not even humans, all life. It's the child version of the creature and the adult version of the creature. In this society, they have come up with this term called adolescents or teenagers, which is only about 200 to 300 years old. Before then, you were either a child, a young man or young woman, or in just a full-on man or woman, or older woman or older man. There was no this ambiguous in between where you get to be free of consequence and responsibility. So what you see right now is we in this society, all responsibility is being lifted up from men and women and stuff, especially at a young age, which is puberty. Puberty is when you become a man. Puberty is when you become a woman.
Straight up.
Scriptures say when you've reached the flower of your age for a woman, you start having your menstrual. Means what? You're able to bear children. And for men, we say in this world, when your balls drop, when you start producing sperm, when you're able to produce children, that's when you are the adult version of whatever species you are, whether it be a lion, bear, all the way down to men. When you're able to produce seed, you're the adult version of whatever creature you are, man.
Even the Most High often uses examples of husbandry. Even in comparison to things. Husbandry is one of the examples that Yahalbashim uses. For example, you can look at fruit and see when it's ready to go.
Right.
When you look at a banana, you can tell it's ripe.
Exactly.
The same way when you look at a young girl, you know she's ready. Deep down you do, but you hold back because of society, this society. You know how many niggas out there that say, nah, that's jailbait? Why they saying, you know what jailbait means? Why they say that? Because they're saying, she look good, but she young. Why are you saying somebody that's young look good? Isn't that pedophilia?
Exactly.
No.
According to their standards.
In your mind, you can process that that's a young woman. I'm not talking about the sickos out there going for the actual children. I'm saying in your young...
brother. If I may interject, that they don't understand that word pedophilia anyways.
Absolutely.
The word pedophilia literally means to be attracted to prepubescent children.
Absolutely.
Prepubescent is the key word in that definition.
Yes.
Meaning pre-puberty, before puberty.
Yes, sir.
Just to add to your points.
Because the first thing that they will say is that, oh, you guys are freaks.
Right.
You guys are saying you can actually like little kids. No. What have we been saying? Puberty.
Right.
Puberty. Why would the Lord allow a child to have a child?
That's stupid, right?
No, it's just like with everything else. And even in husbandry, when a plant reaches a certain point, you know that it's ready. You know that it's ripe.
Sure.
Mature.
Yep.
The same thing when you look at an actual woman, if she's just young, you know that damn she fine. And keep in mind, remember, when you go further back, not in this society now, when you go further and further back, women, come on, you gonna tell me a 14-year-old Aaliyah ain't a woman? The singer Aaliyah that died.
Yeah, you
that was
at
about to bring that
14,
example,
did she look like a little kid?
You seen Cows, you seen Jay-Z.
And the further you go back, you had women. You had women that were young that looked like grown at, because that's what they were. It's this now you got these 20, 25-year-olds plus that look like little ass kids. The scripture tells you that as the time goes on, I'm just roughly paraphrasing, things get lesser and lesser in stature.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's why everything's looking weaker and weaker, but it doesn't change the fact that they're still adults.
Right. As a matter of fact, Salakia, a tactic of a lot of adult women, they actually try to shrink themselves down. Like they posturize themselves certain ways to actually appear a lot younger than they are. That's actually something that women do to try to attract certain men that they want. They'll literally try to like throw their shoulders back or contort themselves in a way to give them the appearance of being younger. And you know, of course, makeup and things of that nature. So why do women want to look younger? If they're the main ones having a problem with older men being attracted to younger women. Why are you so hell-bent on becoming younger? Why are you taking all these pills and putting all these anti-aging creams? Right? A lot of y'all women do that, but then you hypocritically demonize a man for what? A younger woman who's more fertile, right? Who's more impressionable, and even at that, oh, you're evil. Why would you want somebody that you could take advantage of? No, it's not about taking advantage. It's about knowing that they'll be obedient, all right? They'll receive instruction. It's about taking care of that person, all right? So they don't hurt themselves or other people. Once a person reaches a certain age, it's very hard to get through to them. Why would I not want someone who's going to be more impressionable, somebody that you could work with, right? We were all impressionable at one point. But that was a vulnerable state for us to be brought up a right way. So you got to stop conflating things.
That's right.
Stop going right to the negative, because you're emotional, sensationalizing everything. Well, that must mean you're trying to groom them. First of all, look at the word groom. It is not inherently a bad word, but it has been turned into one.
Bridegroom.
And look what happens when you're not groomed,
right,
woman? Because look what happened to you. Since you wasn't groomed, now you're a nasty, nasty, foul mouth smelling ass woman. All right, coming at me, telling me that I should deal with a younger woman. I mean, I should deal with your ass, Salakia. I should deal with your ass. Nobody wants you no more. A lot of them, their headset, their mindset is in the ways of America. You know, okay, their body is terrible, their diet is terrible. Okay, but yet they're shaming me because I want somebody younger. I'm gonna tell you something. If older women took care of themselves, a lot of even younger Jake would deal with them. Tell me I'm lying. If a woman, there's some older women out there that take care of their bodies and they fine as fuck.
Well, first of all, I'll put myself out there for a testimony. When I was young, I was attracted at my age, 12, 13, 14 years old. Like the brother said, when my balls dropped, if I was at like a camp or something like that, I saw like 25-year-old camp counselor, I was attracted to that. I was like, oh man, I want her. You know, I was already gravitating to older women because back then, 90s, early 2000s, women still had a sense of taking care of themselves.
More natural looks.
Right.
Yep. You got the order.
Yeah, this is 1 Corinthians 7:36. It says, if any man think that he behaveth himself uncomely toward his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age,
That young woman passed the flower of her age. Go ahead.
and need so require, let him do what he will. He sinneth not.
He sinneth not. If she passed the flower of her age, if she's ripe, as we said, it's nothing wrong with that. Now there is a problem if she's not past the flower of her age. There's a problem. All right, the Lord set it up. When they've reached a certain point in their life, the Lord activates something in them to what? Now start to produce these eggs. For your ovaries, eggs, the whole nine. Same thing with the man.
Right. Oh.
Yep.
And I want to also add, this is why back in the ancient world, you would keep your daughters inside during certain seasons because of something called aphrodisiacs. When they were coming into their sexuality, if they saw certain objects, right, of certain shapes, they would actually get, what's the word? Aroused. So you would keep her in because, they're not set up for other scenarios.
Right.
Certain smells on men, they might be
Pheromones, pheromones.
She's hot in the.
And that's another transition that happens when you go from a child to an adult, right? You start to come into your sexuality naturally. You start being attracted to things, right? And that's how it goes.
And then you have the cats that bring up the example.
Right. Nobody had to sit there and tell me that 25-year-old woman was attractive. No, something inside me was like, I like that woman.
Yeah.
I didn't have nobody saying you gotta like this particular type of woman. No, I'm like,
She
was explained to me, and I knew all that. I knew instinctively, you could say.
Well, even our grandparents, the brothers going into a little bit further back, some of our grandparents, they didn't have to ask the woman how old she was.
No.
You look like a woman, you was a fucking woman, bro. Like, you looking down, she got the top and bottom going crazy. You like, oh damn, let me shit. Damn. You know what Jake is like, shit. Right. They turn their heads, they ain't turn their heads a little pubescence, man.
Right.
They looking at someone who displays what Esau calls secondary sexual traits, man. I mean, they got their bosom, and they got the rump that Jake like, man, and shit. They showing forth that they ready for the taking, man, so to speak.
Yep. This Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 16. Right, reads, it says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay.
But the main part in that particular thing, it says, surely the turning of things upside down. You're turning of things upside down, Esau. That's what he did. Everything that's lawful and right and set up in order under Yakalba Page, this man has taken and flipped it upside down. Like we talked about before, you have the Father in heaven. What does he do? Promotes the Queen of heaven, going back to ancient Babylon. That's why everything's out of whack and out of course. You see, you're looking at a young woman, but in this society, they're telling you that that's a child. You got the nigga R. Kelly in jail for shit like that, and really, he wasn't wrong. But in this society, he was.
They say 18 is a kid. Yeah. Right now, it's getting that bad that they're even saying that 18 is a child.
Yeah.
When 10 years ago, 18, it was like, shit, I gotta just wait until she's 18, bro.
It's worse than that now.
Yeah.
Now it's, if you're 25, you were only a teenager, what? 19, so 20, 21, 22, 23, 26 years ago. You were only a teenager 6 years ago.
What?
That's the mentality out right now.
Ridiculous.
But there's a video, and I'm sending the brothers again. I saved it on my phone. There's a Jake. He went to the bathroom and stuff, and I guess that might have been his like niece-in-law or something like that. And he went to the bathroom. The woman was behind the door. She closes the door and stands in front of it. And he's like, "Wait, what are you doing?" She's like, "I like you. I want you." He's like, "You're my niece. I can't do." She's like, "No, nobody got to know." He's like, "You're 12." But you look at the woman, you're like, nah, there's no way that.
Yeah, she's like 15.
Yeah, he's like, nah, you think she's like at least 18? She's like, he's like, no, you're 12. I can't. You can't. No, I can't. I'm gonna get in trouble. But she was on his ass, bro. He's like, no, I want you though. That's the type of thing that's gonna be happening in time of Jacob's trouble. You're gonna have young women to be like Possible Russell, you have to beat them off for the fucking tree, man.
Yeah.
I got
Showed
the
you,
Daniel
and
for you, too.
like Slack, you see like in the time of war and such like that, right? They even show you that 28 Days Later and stuff, right?
That's
Y'all
my favorite
remember
movie.
28 Days
Yeah,
Later?
that's my favorite movie.
And you had the what was it? The one black girl, and then you had the younger woman, and then when basically they came to a refuge and such, all the men of that, of course, were calling out for people to come to their specific compound to have refuge. They were looking for women to produce for the future and stuff, right? You know, but of course the woman, that younger woman, was of age and such. I don't even know what her age she was in 28 Days Later, but like they wanted to take her primarily over that other black girl that was there and such. You know? Yeah. So you know, in the time of war and stuff like that. I mean, even watch what your brother who told me to watch Primeval American. Yeah, American Primeval.
Yeah.
You know, when they was when Esau Edom was going and conquering and such, you know, over there, Utah, you know, all those different regions and such, bringing that Mormonism and Christianity and stuff. You know, you had infighting within them, and then you have it where they like, hey, we want us some women, preferably the young ones. You know, so you know that been going on ever since. You know, time and such, and you know, people get back to like, because we're going to go back to the original customs. Everything going to go back to how it used to be. But everything, like as we go into, everything is not, though it's lawful, it's not expedient, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because Jake go out there and go mess with in certain states with the different laws with what? Zion going to it. Age of consent. You know, you got different laws on corruption of minor and stuff like that. You know,
Well, automatically, if you have any sexual relationship with what they consider a minor, they automatically deem it rape. Automatically rape. I think it's considered
statutory. I mean,
but mind you, that video I talked about.
Well, remember, statutory rape only happens in an instance when it's under the age of consent. And in most states, the age of consent can be anywhere between 16 to 18 years old. So that it becomes statutory rape in the state of Pennsylvania, right? Is if you were to have sex with a so-called woman at 15, right? Could technically be statutory rape, right? Now, however, I say this all the time, Pennsylvania has what's called the Romeo and Juliet clause, which means you have up to 4 years difference. So legally, right? This is Esau's law, mind you. So you can get upset if you want, but this is Esau's law. That Romeo and Juliet law, look it up, in Pennsylvania says that a 14-year-old can be with an 18-year-old, a 13-year-old can be with a 17-year-old, sexually we're talking. Now with Pennsylvania, they have corruption of minor law. And that's the only law in Pennsylvania where you can get, like, there's a gray area. So corruption of minor could be both with substance abuse, like say for instance, if you bought your son, you know, a case of beer and he were to get drunk, that would be corruption of minor. You can actually get hit for corruption of minor up to 4 years in prison by buying cigarettes for a minor, buying alcohol for a minor. Corruption of minor in sexual terms, right? You can actually get hit with statutory rape and be a registered sex offender. So even though you hit like age of consent being 16 in Pennsylvania, you could actually get hit with corruption of minor. And in the event of you being a school teacher or anything like that, you cannot deal with any minor at all. And if you're a position of power, a public servant. But that's how Esau's laws work. Now I believe in New York, I think age of consent is 18. And then I also say, like, I think Jersey 16, but you can actually get hit with child porn. So if you're 16 and 17 or 16 and 18, you sit your shit 16 and 25. It's legal in New Jersey and across different states. However, if you start to, you know, quote unquote sex, you actually get hit with child pornography because the 16-year-old is technically still not considered an adult. And there was actually a lot of kids, both 16-year-olds, 16 to 16, getting hit with that because that's a kind of a popular thing to do, you know, amongst this generation is sexting, yeah. So you can actually get popped for having child pornography because that's kind of what that can constitute as. But the act of
being minors themselves, under the age of 18,
exactly. But the consummation of having sex with, you know, anybody of an quote unquote adult is legal in most states, but a lot of people just want to be like, oh, she's not 18. And then now, fucking, if you're at the age of 32 and you're still with a deal with an 18-year-old, you're still considered a creep. You're still considered, oh, she just turned 18. That's creepy. It's like, bro, like what? So it's like the women will always, you know, push the bar and stuff like that. They get mad at, you know.
Women are the main offenders that lying about their fucking age.
Either
older women trying to be, older women trying to be younger, catfishing like a mug, or you got younger women trying to be older.
They teach. That's what we was talking about earlier. They're teaching these young women now. They actually believe this. I had a discussion with my cousin. She believes this. If you're 8 years older than her, then you should. It's creepy.
Yeah, it is.
Just 8 years. And remember they got on. Remember they got on Shaq for liking Ice Spice. It was
Spice?
yeah. He said he was feeling Ice Spice, and they got on. When you 50 years old liking her, and she's only 20. What the fuck? That's a grown woman.
Yeah.
But that goes back into that scripture,
Right.
you know, the turning of things upside down, and that's what this man is doing. He wants to say, I'm God.
Yep.
I choose who you deal with.
Yep.
Because like the brothers had mentioned kind of earlier about the population control, there'd be a lot of sex going on if everything was in its proper order, you know, righteously. Notice I said in proper order. There'd be a lot of things happening right if everything was in their proper order. There'd be no single family homes. No single women out there unless they under their father for the moment.
Right. Arguably, there would be less sexual immorality.
Yeah, yeah.
Because your needs are being met.
Yep.
Your biological imperatives to reproduce are being met.
Yeah.
Not being disenfranchised, having, you know, you being fucking sexually repressed in this goddamn society because of the conditions that are within the society. I gotta spend fucking month, 2 months courting a woman just for her to turn around and be like, you know, and I'm not interested. I don't think it's gonna work out. You just fucking invested all this money, time, and energy, you know, going on. It's this fucking kingdom is whack, bro.
A lot less violence.
When in reality, I should just have to go through her father, right, and have the marriage arranged.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then I take care of it. And a lot of times, see, society forgets that you don't necessarily have to like somebody right away to fall in love or to produce feelings.
Yeah.
A lot of times that comes after the fact. See, when you first get into any kind of relationship with somebody, it's all surface value anyways.
Yeah.
You fall in love or you desire what you see surface level.
Yeah.
This is why you have something called the, in the first year to 2 years, you have something called the honeymoon phase. Everybody's on their best behavior. You're trying to still impress. You want to, you know, bring the best characteristics to the forefront to maintain that relationship. But what happens after 2-3 years, especially in the case of the woman, the mask starts to fall. The mask starts to slip. Well, she don't want to be doing the things that she typically would do for you, right? That's how these women switch up. Right. Because these women have really multiple personality disorder. But anyway, once you really discover who that person is, you fall out of love with them. Like, whoa, wait a minute, what the hell's wrong with you? One day the woman just becomes all all mouthy and fucking rebellious and back talking and shit. It's like, where the fuck did this come from?
Well, the term.
I just asked if you could pick that up. It's been sitting there for a while. Why can't you pick it up? Did you put it there? Then you pick it up. You don't see me leaving a mess around. It's just you know the deal. I told you what my standards were before we started this relationship. You got to remind them of what y'all went over before y'all got into the relationship. Like, nah, you know what this is. It's been this way since day one. But anyway, that just goes to show you, you could actually have an arranged marriage and fall in love with that person, right? Under the right conditions. And conversely, you can fall out of love with somebody once you come to know who they are. So love at first sight, you need to be in love to be together. Nah. Total madness.
I'll say that only applies to men.
Total madness.
I'll say that term, love at first sight, really only applies to men. Because the woman ends up learning over time how to properly love you, but a man can look at a woman and be like,
you got to train the woman. She takes what training she received in her household, but then it's taken further under your dominion. How much more is that? No, go ahead.
Colossians 3.
So that precept?
18. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands.
I'm about ready to wrap it up, brother.
It is fit in the Lord. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as it is fit in the Lord. Husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them. So that they got nothing to do with like you fall in love with a woman, or a woman fall in love with a man. It's wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as it is fit in the Lord. So submit, follow the direction, follow the instructions.
Right. Submit means to be put under the authority of. That's right. So the woman is supposed to be under the authority of the man. That's why when you go into 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter, right around the 3rd verse, I believe, it tells you the order of things, right? The head of every man is Yahushua. The head of Yahushua is the man, and the head of the woman is the man. I said that correctly. So
the head of your Yahushua is Yahweh. Yep.
And that's the way it's supposed to be. Now, any of the information we might have brought out on the ages of consent, you still got to follow your laws, bro. All right? You got to observe the authority that is currently in power. Yeah. You don't want to mess up your life over something, something like that. So we're not condoning anything. If you're going to deal with a woman, make sure she's of age. Do what you got to do to verify that shit before you, get to the action. We're just talking about what was practiced in the ancient world and what's going to eventually happen in the kingdom. All right? Keep a level head. Don't get crazy, but because you got a lot of guys try to chop and say, emotional about it. See, this is exactly what we've been trying. Nah, man. Y'all ain't slick. You gonna say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say because in Esau's society, the order is Esau, the woman, then you got the fucking doormat, then you got the man.
Bro, you forgot the roach. You forgot
the roach.
The
doormat, then the man.
The ring on the finger. She don't want to do a simple task unless she got the
real quick.
the ring,
1 Corinthians 6:12. All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. Expedient means obviously being not profitable, right? We'll go into it. Expedient, right? Expedient to be profitable, to help. There's some things that actually can make your condition worse. If you go out there, and go like they say in the world, 15 to get you 30. You mess with a 15-year-old in a certain state, and you're a certain age, hey, that'll get you in a situation. Yeah.
We just give you the information. Scripture tell you that the Lord's going to give us a mouth of wisdom that none of our adversaries are going to play the games here resist. We were talking about it now, but we're not concerned what you fucking people think. All right, if you think we're doing something or not doing something, or we think 18 is too young or too old, I don't give a shit what you people think. We're not. Ain't none of us been arrested for any of that crap. All right. Exactly. When the time of Jacob trouble comes, whatever happens, fucking happens. All right. And what we said that we're reading now is going to happen when time of Jacob trouble comes. And then the damn thing you can do about it. You can get mad, you can make a comment, but the shit you say don't mean nothing. You can make a video about how men are creepy. That don't mean shit. All it's doing is get clicks and views and you're making fucking money. But that it's not affecting my paycheck, it's not affecting my free movement because you're fucking mad. All right?
Yep. It says all things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any kind.
Yeah, so you're gonna follow, whatever the system is saying, to a point, so you could have freedom of movement. You won't be in jail. That's not our issue. What we're doing is give you the information. Exactly. So if you do something that's irresponsible or stupid, that's on you, and we're going to condemn you because you're a fucking fool. So we don't, here in Great Millstone, we don't allow idiots and retards to be in our camp. If you're fucking stupid, you can't be in our camp. All right? You got to pass a certain level of competency to be within the ranks of Great Millstone. Now, you can join the IUIC, IHBK, you can be a brute, a grunt, idiot.
Well, they don't care about competence.
Just off the street, just out of jail. You still institutionalized. You can do that with those other guys.
But they like individuals
do that with Great Millstone.
They like individuals that don't think for themselves. You could just be a yes man. Man. All you gotta do is pay your admission fee. Sign on the dotted line.
It shows you they're not about the scriptures, because like brother said earlier, you're supposed to try the spirits. Correct. Be of the Most High, so they don't do that. So.
Mind you, they have active or recently active pedophiles in their.
Oh yes, by their own admission.
By their own admission.
Homosexuals, so-called ex-homosexuals. In the ISUPK, you mean?
Yeah. I used to be, because you know this. At this point, I'm grouping all them niggas together.
Well,
man.
yeah.
You know, they all come up. They all are the same.
But they're gonna have
spirit.
a problem with us going into the scriptures and verifying what the scriptures say is a marriageable age, or how to deal with the grape situations, or if a man can have more than one woman. This is Isaiah 54:17.
We're dealing with the things that we can control, not what we can't control.
Well, we can't control no one person anyway. So if somebody like back to this brother's point, but the individual acts out of fucking term, that's on them.
Yeah.
All right, that's on them. Because we're very transparent. All right, and there is a certain behavior that's expected of you within this ministry. So anything outside of that, you can get the step. If you get caught doing anything, you're gonna get kicked the fuck out. This is Isaiah 54:17. It says, "No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord."
Yeah, they're calling us rapists, 8-year-olds, 6-year-olds.
Pedophiles.
You're like, that's okay. So you basically
Creeps.
judging us. So hey, look, you have to pay for that.
Yep.
It's every idle word that men shall speak.
That's right.
You give account in the day of judgment.
That's right.
And we're still, our word is still stronger than y'all's anyway.
That's right.
Even with all the slander and lies.
Right.
You can't defeat our word. Because we got the Holy Spirit with us. We got Yahushua's Spirit with us. It's impossible.
Yeah, it's turning out that you guys are the ones that are getting caught with all these different scandals
That you're accusing us of.
that you're accusing others of. Yeah, specifically the brothers with the engraved nose, beginning with the leadership, which is insane.
Other Malcolm and Chicago said they're projecting what they're doing onto you.
Right? There's nothing hid that should not be made manifest.
That's right.
That's what that was going on with us. It would be made manifest. Well, obviously, it's coming along with y'all. It ain't come out with us yet. And if it does, hey, we've condemned the guy. It's not within our doctrine, and he's gone. That's as simple as that.
Correct. Yep.
You hearing about them? You ain't hearing about us. There's always a guy. Oh, he left the camp. Well, he's not a part of the camp. You got a guy that didn't smell too good. You know, he wanted to be a chief speaker. You know, he left the camp and started rebuking the elders. And then brothers thinking that he's still in our camp. Like, hey, nigga ain't in our camp. Nigga ain't in Philly camp. Philly can't think you Apostle Paul. Like, no, you ain't in the camp, dude. You've been left. You kicked yourself out the camp weeks or months ago. We ain't got nothing to do with you. All right? But that's how easily people can get confused. The guy that used to be a part of the camp a month ago, or you saw him standing around in the audience, like, he's not with Great Millstone, Philadelphia. All right, the dude ain't in the camp. He don't speak. A guy, the 25th guy in the camp isn't a spokesman for the whole camp. All right, and then the guy not even in the camp. So,
Yeah, well,
the spokesmen are the elders of the camp.
and a lot of those guys are covert in their deception and deceit. You know, you've seen them on the comment board, and they got, you know, different handles that give them a sense of association with us. That's the problem. And they don't have no respect for the leadership here, which is why they're not a part of the camp in the first place. Because that particular guy, he was already on notice because he couldn't even break down Genesis 25.
Oh shit.
You know,
25.
he wanted to be able to be, like the brother said, a chief speaker, but he couldn't even break things down. You know, we were doing at the time our quick overtime videos in the parking lot. He had to come to me, brother, what does this mean? What does that mean?
Miles on that too.
Like, what do you know? Listen, you're supposed to be picking a precept that you can quickly break down, not, you know, that you're supposed to know. You're supposed to know this information.
And he wanted to be a chief speaker.
Right.
You gotta humble down, bro.
Yeah.
You know, bro.
He
That
gone.
nigga now.
He literally gone. Nobody knows.
He teaches some
He
wicked
was
shit.
trumping in Philly,
bathroom
then he's
stall.
trumping in Virginia, then
He
he
could do
was...
video. That's how crazy this dude was. All the time he had, so he had to do videos in the
He
bathroom
take
stall.
the
He do
2/3
crazy.
and make it.
He that exalted himself shall be abased.
Yep.
Nuts.
But you see the confusion that all these different, what do they call them? Pop-up camps, as Elder Apostle Star would say, can create. You know, a lot of guys that didn't come up the proper way have caused a lot of confusion, a lot of unnecessary controversy because you're not teaching the right thing, and then because you're within a certain city, you didn't follow proper protocol, you get association, right? Then we got to correct on your behalf
Another
what
guy.
you're fucking up.
The dude that cut his foot.
You know,
He kept making these
that's
extreme examples and shit.
Yeah.
The boy.
So that's just goes to
Black
show you how
Simpson,
these
Black
different
versus-
pop-up groups, when you don't do the right thing, how you can create confusion.
Yeah.
Basically being disorderly. You know? But the Lord sees all that, so hey, we go, we correct it, we fix what we have to, we make sure we're in order, and then we put the proclamation out there. Nah, they're not a part of us. They either never were or they are.
They left or got kicked out weeks and months ago.
Whatever the circumstances is. All right, what else do we got? Did we finish Isaiah 4:1? 7 women shall take hold of one man. Only let us.
Oh yeah.
I mean, now we started to read it.
Yeah, we went down to verse 3.
Did we?
Yeah.
And brothers broke it down. Okay. All right. Good. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring this out real quick. I don't know if y'all read this. This is Isaiah 60 verse 22. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Lord, will hasten it in its time. And then how you gonna do that with men having sex with multiple women, or having multiple wives or concubines, man? Exactly. Yep.
You can't sexually restrain a man because you're emotional about protecting a woman that don't give a fuck about you anyway. You got more than that? That's it.
They got a quick preset. This is 2 Chronicles chapter 11 and 17. It says, so they strengthened the kingdom of Judah and made Rehoboam the son of Solomon strong 3 years. For 3 years they walked in the way of David and Solomon. And Rehoboam took him Mahalath, the daughter of Jeremoth, the son of David, to wife, and Abihail, the daughter of Eliab, the son of Jesse, which bare him children.
Yeah, that's 2 wives.
Right. Well, we're gonna get it. You're gonna see just how many he had, which bare him children, Jeash and Shemira and Zaham. And after her he took Maacah, the daughter of Absalom, which bare him Abijah and Adai and Ziza and Shelomith. And Rehoboam loved Maacah, the daughter of Absalom, above all his wives. So he had a preference. Okay? Above all his wives and his concubines. It says, for he took 18 wives and 70 concubines.
Damn.
20, 40, 60.
78.
Damn.
And begot 28 sons and 70 daughters. So damn, he had.
So that means he was having sex with all
60 daughters?
60
God
daughters.
He was
damn.
having sex with just the one he loved. He was
Exactly.
having sex with all of them.
Right.
Fuck, bro. That's crazy.
So 78 women gave him 28 sons and then 60 daughters. And guess what?
What's that ratio you talking about?
Right.
7 women should take hold of one man.
There you go.
God damn.
Isaiah 4.
And guess what? We can go we can go into example after example after example. All right? And nowhere does it say, and he went off because he had 78 women.
So where's the penalty at?
Yeah.
For
Exactly.
taking more than one wife. Did
Well, as a matter of
Paul
fact,
give a penalty?
hold up, look at the last verse says, this is verse 23, it says, and he dealt wisely and dispersed of all his children throughout all the countries of Judah
Exactly.
and
Different
Benjamin
houses, different
unto
houses.
every fenced city, and he gave them victual in abundance, and he desired many wives.
That's what you're
Whoa!
supposed to do. You ain't supposed to have them all crammed up in one area. Spread them out.
Right. And he wasn't wrong for having a desire of many women.
So you skip. So the Heavenly Father skipped King David, jumped to King Solomon, jacked him up for doing it, but then skipped to Rehoboam and didn't jack him up for doing it. So what was special about Solomon getting jacked up for having more than one woman? But King David and then his son after him, Rehoboam after him.
And that's just what's written down.
Exactly.
That's just the main record that we have. It was practiced. Millions of Israelites were produced of polygamous marriages. It was beyond what's even written in the scripture.
So if you have 60 daughters, and you you have a certain care for a man in Israel, you might give 3 of them daughters to that man, right? You might arrange that particular man, right? Who you find favor with. You know what? I'm gonna give you 3 of my daughters. You got 60 daughters.
That's crazy.
That's it. If you wanted to, it could be 60 different arranged
You
marriages.
will find 6 different men. Why would you do that?
Exactly.
You start grouping them all.
Yeah, exactly.
Different age groups of mothers and
Right.
stuff like that. You know?
Knowing what type of man that is too.
Right,
You
exactly.
vetted him out.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
So that's all I had. Just to land back.
Bring this up real quick.
Go ahead.
All right, so I Googled men who had multiple wives in the Bible, right? I'm gonna go to one of them. Now this is interesting. This is Lamech. It says Lamech, a descendant of Cain, is the first biblical figure mentioned as taking 2 wives. Yep. And I got the precept. Exactly. Yep.
Or not.
Yep.
It said, Matthew said that whatever was contained in the book, not enough pages in the book to contain.
Yeah.
You know, so the word. So it's more is not written than written.
First day of the week, he woke up, he did this. Second day of the week, he woke. He gonna say every last.
It's not going to be written. Every polygamy.
And this is Genesis 4:19. It says, and Lamech took unto him 2 wives, the name of the one Adah, and the name of the other Zillah.
What's the penalty? Like I said earlier, what's the penalty for taking more than one wife? Because adultery, according to the Bible, is not what IUIC broke down. That's a damn fictitious, made-up definition. All right? What's the penalty? Did Paul give a penalty if you take more than one wife? You're going to die in fiery pits of hell? Paul never said that. The Lord never said that. All right? So what's the penalty? You got to get the penalty. Because it's not adultery. The adultery, according to the Bible, is when the man has sex with a woman that's betrothed or married. That's adultery.
Correct.
So if it's not outside of that, what the hell is he talking about?
Yeah.
He just made up a definition of adultery.
Wasn't there a part in the video where he tried to explain away that the taking of the handmaid, and he said, well, that's because she was a surrogate. Was that part of the same conversation?
Concubine or something.
But hold on a second. Wait a minute. Even if that's the case, and she was a surrogate to have, so that he could have children,
Still deal with it.
what is the definition of what a marriage is, or what consummates the marriage?
Sex.
Is the act of sex. When you look at the word consummation, it literally means to officialize the marriage through sexual intercourse. You can't get around it. What makes a woman your wife in the first place?
Yeah.
The act of sex.
Yeah.
You penetrating her.
Stupid.
You humbling her. So that's a dumb argument to make. Oh, she was a surrogate. No, that still doesn't explain away the fact that she then would have still became his wife after he inserted himself into her. They had sexual intercourse, penetration. That officialized that union, whether she was a secondary wife or not.
Abraham and Hagar.
Well, I think that's. I don't want to say exactly who it was. That's why I'm kind of being limited. But I believe that he explained it. The individual from the IUIC tried to explain that circumstance away by simply saying, "Oh, well, she was a surrogate." But that still does not take away from the fact that that handmaid still became his secondary wife. Especially when you understand what marriage is, what consummates a marriage, right? According to the scriptures, according to the law that you're supposedly about. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say on
Yeah,
that.
because it said Isaac brought Rebecca into his tent and knew her, and she became his wife. They ain't say nothing about no ceremony outside.
Right, it doesn't mean they
wedding
sat
rings
down and had a deep conversation.
Deep conversation about what you bring to the table.
They got that Marvin Gaye on. That's
Right. What's your
Arguing and debating on who has the power in the household and shit. So
Yeah.
husband, wives, submit yourselves to your.
what's your life goals the next 10 years?
Yeah, for 3 to 5 years, what you doing? You know? That's why these women ain't gonna make it.
Right.
Ain't gonna make it. They're gonna die the death of the uncircumcised. They're gonna die in the hellfire. If you don't get your shit, together, you're going to finish.
Right. So we're just going to continue to push the doctrine of Yakalba Page the way that it's meant to be taught. You know, we're looking at the prophecies, we're analyzing everything, we're seeing where these different so-called leaders and groups are going off, and we're making those corrections based upon their words. So we're going to continue to do that. You know, we're mindful of everything else that's going on, right? There are a lot of strides being made towards everything going digital. We know we're much closer to the implementation of the CHIP, right? Donald Trump just signed an executive order, all right, going into, federal government using digital payment systems, I believe. So we're that much closer, man. We're that much closer to war, all right? Inevitably. So we're watching the different economic signs, right? The different trade skirmishes going on, right? The different back and forth, and we know it's all inevitably going to lead into that CHIP World War III. So that's what we're monitoring. That's what we're watching. Okay, and in between all of that, we're going into the different various parts of the scriptures, because these things need to be addressed, whether they're trivial, whether they're elementary, whether much weightier matters. You know, we are set up to teach everything. So, you know, eat the whole roll, right? So with that, we're going to say Panyahakodam. going to give all honor, glory, and praise unto
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem HaKadosh.
We're going to give double honors unto our elders and apostles and great hosts known through you well. And a hearty and sincere shalom to all the hopeful elect. We hope you're edified. Shalom.
Shalom.